Good morning, everybody. Afternoon now, I think, 10 to 1, and we are set to go. We are getting started in 10 minutes, so if you're watching the recording of this, as some of you like to do, just go to the recording and fast forward about 5 minutes. Tremendous. All right, everyone, we are We are doing well. We have one student from class ready to go. We got 4 minutes till class starts. One student is in, so we're good. We'll be starting up in 4 minutes from now, and it will be amazing. All right, just a couple minutes until we get going. Mr. Corrupt User, you win the prize. You are the only student ready to go with 2 minutes before class. Yes, welcome to Workplace. All right, it is 1 o'clock. You know what that means. I know, I made your hands clap because I said math class is starting, and you just started clapping. Went crazy. So here it is, your lesson for Friday. A beautiful Friday out here. We're talking about buying a car. We went over last class about the different procedures, qualifying for a loan and things like that. So we move on now to other things. When we buy a car, We went over the 40% rule last class. Other things involved for buying a car would be how you fix your car or car repairs. I've also got very exciting news for you guys as far as the rest of the year goes. So here it is. Yolanda, you're going to get very used to hearing that name because Yolanda bought a Honda, and it does not a Wanda go very far without getting fixed. She's going to take her car to get fixed all over the place. Imagine she had to pay $100 for parts and $150 for labor. Let's find how much she's going to actually pay. So I've got this lovely charty-warty up on the screen for you. And you're going to get an assignment with these charts as well. First things first, very simple. $100 for parts, bam, there it is. You just put the $100 under where it says parts. Labor cost, it said $150 for labor. So even though the part itself was $100, you have to pay someone $150 to put that on. You just put that under labor cost. And we're good. Now we're going back to unit number 1 and 2 when we just did PST and GST all across Canada. I'm sure you remember all of that. PST, that's your provincial sales tax, what you pay in British Columbia. Your PST, if you remember, it's always 7% of whatever the price is. So that would be 7% of the $100. Bam, throw that in on the chart as $7. Well, now you're going to need your GST on those parts. You got to pay 5% of that $100 and slap the $5 in there as well. Easy money. 7% of the parts, that's your PST. 5% of the parts, that's your GST. Now we'll turn to the labor cost. In British Columbia, you have to pay PST and GST on the labor of them fixing it. So PST, we know PST at 7% of whatever you're buying, 7% of $150. GST, so there's your PST, $10.50. GST, you'll find 5% of the $150, and that's it there, $7.50. So now, how much does Yolanda have to pay? Nice and simple. You take the $100 for parts, add the $7 for PST, add the $5 for GST, add the $150 for labor, add the $10.50 PST, add the $7.50. That's right, add them all up. And you get $280 you're going to have to pay to your mechanic. You now drive away after paying $280. The mechanic has all your money. And then if you remember, the mechanic is now in charge of taking that $7 PST that he collected and the $10.50 PST he collected. He needs to send that off to Victoria. The $5 GST and the $7.50 GST, he needs to submit that into Ottawa. And we are good to go. One more example, and we're done for today. Still with repairs. We're going to be doing a lot of repairs. Miss Jackson got her oil for car. She went and got the price done. She looked at the mechanic and said, "Are you kidding me? You're charging me that much?" At which point the mechanic looked at her and said, "I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real." Yeah. When Miss Jackson was incredulous with her bill, that's what happened there. Well then, guess what? Another charty-warty. There's only one thing that's different here. In this question, if you see in the question itself, she has to pay a mechanic $80 an hour. So let's have a look. Oil for the car was $5. You throw that right there. Next, what if the mechanic said, "I'm charging you for 0.2 hours. Now, in case you're wondering, that's 12 minutes. It took the mechanic 12 minutes to put this oil in her car. He's charging her for that. That's right. So let's figure out all the things. The labor cost, the mechanic was charging you $80 an hour, but only worked for 0.2 hours. Sure enough, that works out to $16. You don't believe me? It's true. You buy $5 worth of oil and have a mechanic put it in your car for you, they'll charge you $16 to screw this lid off and pour the oil in. But now you pay tax on all that. So we do the exact same thing we did the last example. PST, 7% of whatever your price was. That's 7% of the $5. That's 35 cents. Now you'll pay GST on the oil. That's 5% of $5, and that's 25 cents. Now you figured out your labor cost is 16. PST, you pay 7% of $16. That's $1.12. GST, you pay 5% of $16, and that's 80 cents. You can watch this video over and over again. It'll be fantastic. And that's it. Add up all the numbers and you get $23.52. Now you don't add the 0.2. That just tells you how many hours it was. And that's it for today. You take your car to get fixed. You pay PST and GST on the parts. You pay PST and GST on the labor. And that's all I'm asking you to do today. I'm going to send you a homework assignment in an email in the next 5 minutes. And I'm giving you 72 hours to do it. That's right. It needs to be handed in to me before Monday. Our last homework, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of you. I asked you 2 questions and 7 of you did nothing. So these all count towards your marks. It's due Monday before 1 o'clock. And speaking of, next week will be our last week of online learning. You may have heard the vicious, nasty, wonderful rumors. They are true. We are going back to school. Starting June, I'll have all the details for you as to when you can come in. Some of you have missed a lot of assignments and want to make some of them up. I have a special project for you that you can make up your assignments, and that will be it. Our next class is Monday at 1 o'clock. Have your assignment handed in to me before Monday at 1 o'clock. I'll see you then. And until then, enjoy your weekend. Get these questions done real quick. Thank you. And good night from NBC News.